remember who we are.
That's tough.
So we're not the papers, we're not the energy around us, we are us. This class is about how to understand your energetic patterns and how to use them for your advantage. We are huge souls, big spirits that come to Earth to experience ourselves. And when we come here to experience ourselves, we create a script, like a movie script, before we come. And the way we create the script, we take all the things that we already learned before, and we say, well, I don't really need to know all of that again because it's already in my soul, in my field. But there are some things that I'd like to explore more or experience more, and they will either enhance what I already know or will give me some new experiences and opportunities so I know something new, something different. But there probably some sort of counsel that is going. So you probably have some souls or some spirits, some friends from before that you consult.
You kind of like sit around and decide what you're going to do during your lifetime.
And when I had a past life regression, I'm a hypnotherapist, so I had to go through a number of processes in order to become one. When I was reincarnating through this rebirth experience, I saw a huge group of beings which looked very different, like almost like a Star Trek-y sort of group with all kinds of shapes and forms, energetic forms and physical. And they were explaining me that I really should go and I should really be here because there will be some souls that would need me. And I was really resistant. And I remember that resistance. And they were really persuading me, and I was like saying, no, excuse me. And they said, this is the set of things that you would need to do. Like, I'm not sure I want to do it on Earth. I'm not against all of that. I love it all, but not Earth is not a good place. And they eventually pushed me, and I saw myself going down the sleeve, like almost like a sliding sort of roller coaster-like thing. And I was screaming some not so pleasant words, and then I've gotten, with these words, I screamed into the existence, and the girls who were processing that with me were laughing. They were like, you were screaming insanities, like what was happening? Like, I didn't want to go down. And they said, like, welcome, you're here. There's nothing you can do. And so I'm sure that we all had some sort of experience that made us come down here and have a reason. And so most of us do not know what is it that we come here for. We know in general we want to be here because we want to experience things. Because Earth is the place to experience. At the same time, there are some experiences that we'd rather not experience. Please, keep it this way. And clean my path. And so this program, this gene keys that open every door in our own consciousness to help us understand why we came here, what was the reason, what we're doing here, how we can actually do it without being pushed from off our center or from our path, and how we can be stable with that, how we can resonate who we are within our body and with other people. Because very often when we're pushed out our centers, we lose who we are, and then we attract people that are attracted to who we're not. And then we go like, why did they have this experience? And that's exactly the experience you've scripted in your energetic script for the lifetime, so you would know something new. And we have two groups of people or souls that we meet here. Ones that amplify the goodness, so to speak, or enlightened part of us. And these are the ones that said, no matter what happens, I will always find you, and I will always support you. And when you feel that you are totally lost, I will show up for you, and I will remind you. And then there is another group of souls that said, I will amplify anything and everything that is not you, so you finally learn, and you finally be the spirit that you are, even on Earth, even on that strange place that has all kinds of measuring negativity and light and darkness and beauty and all kinds of things that we want to experience, and also all the things that we don't want to experience. And so we learn by contrast, and so we have two contrasting groups, the ones that support us and the ones that don't. But because we had this council before, we know them, so we recognize them all. And when you meet somebody, there is the deep recognition in there. And sometimes this recognition just tells you, remember, this will be an experience that you didn't want to experience. So if you don't want to, just go. You don't have to experience everything, because that memory is enough. If when you remember who you are, then you don't really need to go through the experience to remember again. But what happens to us, as soon as we recognize somebody, it feels, okay, I know you. And then we go through the experience anyway, right? And so if that's your choice, because there is no wrong choice, we always do the right choice in the right moment. And if that is your choice, I remember you, I recognize you, we had set an experience together to go through, and you go through the experience, then don't be hard on yourself, don't beat yourself up, and don't beat this other person for the experience that you've experienced, because that was a choice, and it was a mutual choice. And so how can we make better choices, right? How can we recognize what we want to experience and what we don't want to experience, because we already know, we already have that inner knowing that this would not be the best experience, and we might not be engaged. Or how can we project ourselves in the future, look into how that experience would look like with that person, and make a decision and come back and don't go through the physical experience that is not exactly serving you in a moment. And maybe it does serve you, and then you make a different choice. So this program that I'd like to teach you is about making better decisions, understanding your own core, and being able to distinguish. And at the same time, understanding that we are made in a way to fit with other people. Like every single part of us is almost like a puzzle piece. And when we have this puzzle shape that connects to the other piece of the puzzle, it creates a whole picture. And we are part of the tapestry, and everyone needs to be there for that. The question is, how do you understand where your part of the puzzle fits? And not try to push yourself into something that's not your piece of the puzzle, because the puzzle is huge and you can always find a place. And so